Well, Pinkie Apple Pie is finally here, and this is the last episode from the Season 4 animatic, and just like Flight to the Finish, I had high expectations for this episode, and even though the episode felt rushed in some areas, I still enjoyed watching it. However, like other analysts, I watched the episode a few more times because I didn't see anything too exciting in the episode the first time around. In a recent chat I had with some of the analysts, one of them said the episode went nowhere, but it was fun while it went nowhere. That is exactly how I felt about the episode the first time around, but after giving it 4 more chances, I started to enjoy it a lot more. The episode begins like Double Rain Boom with the whole what you doing bit where Pinkie Pie finds out about the study of genealogy, which leads her to think that she is related to Applejack. I always thought it was possible that both Applejack and Pinkie Pie are related in some way since they both grew up on farms, and it would make a good story as well as major development between these two. So the apples are excited about the knowledge but want to make sure that she is part of the apple family, so they must go find their relative named Goldie Delicious who has all the knowledge of the apple family history, and along the way the apples want to show Pinkie Pie that they are a good example of family even though the trip doesn't go the way they want it to. We then come to the song in the episode, and it was fun watching it fully animated, but sadly I felt that it was too animated. I mean, there was so many motion tweens used in this song, it made it seem too fast and unbalanced. I like how it looked in the animatic, and to me it sounded a bit more catchier in the animatic, mainly because we got the bronies clapping to the beat of the music. However, the song was still incredible to listen to, and I love the connection between the apples and Pinkie Pie in it. Why can't more family road trips be like this instead of something from the Griswolds? So the wagon breaks down and they make a raft out of the pieces, and they start having conflicts with one another, while Pinkie Pie, being the pony that knows when others aren't happy, doesn't notice a thing and just continues to be positive throughout the episode. Now this scene alone had some of the most hysterical moments out of the entire season for me, from Apple Bloom being Mapalicious to Granny Smith making a wrong turn into the scariest cave in all of Equestria made me laugh my head off. But hey, it can't be worse than the cave in Disneyland. I might never sleep again. So now we get to Goldie's house, and while Pinkie Pie is off getting some more scrapbook paper, the apples have a moment of regret for not being the best example of a good family, but Pinkie Pie overheard them and tells them that they are still the best family since they managed to stay together as one unit through thick and hard times. I actually love that scene, and even though families argue a lot, they are still your family and your first ever friends from the beginning. That scene alone is very relatable in my opinion. So Goldie shows up, and even she can't find out whether or not Pinkie Pie is part of the family. However, the apples still consider Pinkie a member of the family, evidence or no evidence, and we leave off with a happy ending and a journal entry. Now it's time for my final thoughts. I like how the episode focused on the two characters that haven't had much development since season 3, and the lesson at the end was okay, but not as good as the others. The song is still one of my favorites, though I like the animatic version of the song more. I also found out that Peter New played Goldie, which was funny and a great job. The writer Natasha Levenger did a good job with this episode, and I'm amazed that the new writers in this season have done amazing jobs for their first episodes. I can't wait to see more episodes by them in the future. Seeing as though season 5 is confirmed, I wouldn't be surprised if they came back for another episode. Now onto the scenes I had mixed feelings on. First off, I loved the song but just felt that the animation was too fast and off balance, but I guess that's what happens when you see the animatic first before the real deal. Next up, the episode didn't really add much to these characters or whether or not they all related to each other. It didn't say yes, but at the same time it didn't say no, and lastly, the story. I mean, the apples go on a road trip that doesn't turn out the way they hoped, seems just like any other road trip vacation story I've heard, but even though it's cliched, I still enjoyed most of it. Well, that's all I have to say about the episode, but out of the 4 episodes that were previewed in the animatic, I would say this one is number 2 on the list. Better than Power Ponies, but not as good as Flight to the Finish. Am I forgetting something? No, well, that's all for now. See you all later.